necessarily kid that we get at basis. So it's a kid that is very, very motivated. The workload here is can be rather daunting.
Give me one.
Again, the challenge is that having this hybrid model where half are here and half aren't presents challenges that nobody ever really thought of. I mean, we're in uncharted territory. You know, something seems to always go wrong.
Hang on a second, Tyler.
They come from water.
They do indeed. They come from water.
As much as we try to deliver the same learning experience to kids at home that are here, it's just, it can't happen in my mind. They're going to be missing something.
Yeah. All right. So, Hussein, sorry, can you say again what a num means?
A year.
A year. Because say a num is Latin for. We all have a document, so physically that we can see it projected, and online we can see here that the other members of the class are watching the same slide.
Are required to document the lives that they take in their day-to-day lives.
I just wish it was integrated better. I can't switch back and forth fast enough to see who online, if their hands are raised, makes it difficult for me to kind of manage who I'm talking to in person with online.
We got back in school in, I believe it was October 12th. It was awesome because I'm someone who relies on my friends a lot, and I will hang out with them, and it's a big mental, just yes. And it was weird just not being able to do that every day. I think probably one of the biggest changes to the school was having to wear masks around and not being able to take them off. And it's kind of hard to recognize people. It's pretty stressful, just not being able to know what's going to happen today and if your teachers are going to be in school. Our math teacher hasn't been here for a while because he had symptoms, I'm guessing. He hasn't been in for a week, and he wasn't there for the first 2 weeks of school, in school, that is. So that's been kind of weird.
You wonder at what point, keeping up this level of energy, keeping up this level of worry is going to become unsustainable. And that's kind of the word that I think of when I think of hybrid learning. There's no cadre of teachers backed up to support these teachers or to support these kids when, they decide that's enough. And we've already lost quite a few, due to the stress of hybrid learning. And there's nobody there waiting to take that job. Nobody's like, yeah, I want to be a teacher.
All right, we're going to do it one more time because the people on the screen didn't get to do it. So, stare, 30 seconds.
I have kids who, when you mention that we might be going back into virtual learning completely, they just want to cry. And then I have kids who are begging for it. It's frustrating to watch kids that are in pain. And it could be that school is their social place. Maybe they're an only child. It could be that they are queer and at home they're not out, but at school they are, and they're losing that opportunity to spend their day out and proud. It could be that maybe nobody is home with them. I have a lot of really lonely kids, looking at me through a computer screen because mom and dad are at work and they're just home with a screen all day long. I know a lot of kids who go from class to nap to class to nap, and you don't want to drop the D word of depression, but that certainly is what it feels like, a lot of sleeping to not have to live through things. And you hate to see that in a 16, 17-year-old or 13, 14-year-old.
Why do scientists think this? Does someone have an idea? Alina?
Because I have asthma, and COVID more than less affects your lungs. So people with diseases in their lungs and old people will have a higher chance of being either dead or getting it.
Anything that makes protists particularly interesting?
I've been at home schooling since March. I don't really get to go outside much. I'm almost in the house during the entire week. On the weekends, sometimes I'll go over to my friend's house, but rarely. My grades now aren't as good as if I was doing in person because I'm just not understanding it well and I'm not getting the idea. It's not being shown to me physically. With online school, I feel like they're giving us twice as much homework as they would. So as soon as I'm done with school, I'm usually studying or doing homework till 9 o'clock.
If you look at the drop of pond water under a microscope, most of the creatures
At the beginning, I was on the screen for about 12 hours a day straight, and my eyes started getting strained. But I'm gonna get glasses for blue light because I don't get overwhelmed, but it's very stressful for my eyes and my brain.
So I get up at 7 a.m. and then I set up my computer and I log into the Microsoft Teams and I join the call and prepare for the first class. So I get out at 12 and then I do homework for about 3 hours and I end up working the night shift at the restaurant.
Green River Asian Bistro, Ejan speaking. How can I help you?
My mom is a high-risk individual. She has both asthma and diabetes, so we made the decision as a family that I would just stay at home to continue distance learning. Back in March when we first started, I was definitely very stressed and anxious, and I was a little worried about how AP tests were going to be before they announced it was going to be online, and also the fact that I was going to be taking my SAT and ACT retakes, and I thought back then it was like the determining factor for like college admission, so I was very stressed during that period of time. Online learning and distance learning in general just needs a lot of discipline. And so I feel that I should just continue like a regular track of graduating and just entering freshman year in the fall. Because for me, I know myself, I'm going to end up getting, I think, either discouraged or distracted and not wanting to continue. So I think that it would be best for me to just go ahead and jump into college.
Kids are inundated today. I mean, they're so connected that I can't think of that many kids that aren't aware of what's going on locally, nationally, and globally. I think it's a really hard time to be a parent. It really, really is, because you want to make everything better, and it's not feasible. And what I can do for my kids and kids here is provide them with some tools that'll hopefully get them through this and to the other side.
But now we're switching to talk about perception.
This generation is better set. They are more aware of mental health. They're more comfortable admitting their anxieties. So if anybody could handle it, it's Gen Z. They are some of the most innovative, hopeful groups of students I've met. And I think their own awareness of mental health issues can be translated and carried out to their parents, to teachers. We could all learn from them and their willingness to talk about it. They still have hope for the future. We have given them crap and they are completely okay with saying, yeah, this is what it is, but we're gonna make it better. And so then I start to feel better. And so just remembering that, our youth are our biggest asset by far, and they're amazing, and taking comfort in that.